Today, I wanted to do a master class all about funnels. Funnels 101, understanding the flow and what that means for your business. Now, I get it. Most of you are using some kind of a funnel system in your business. And I just thought it would be good if we all started at the same place. So I'm just going to go through this little PowerPoint presentation, and we're just going to talk about how these funnels work for you and your business. And if you keep seeing me look over here on the side, I'm just checking my notes here. So let's get started. Funnels. And if you don't know me, my name's Debbi Starr, and I help business owners just like you to put in some automations, systems, build those funnels, or whatever it is that you need in your business to help you bring in those clients and to help you do it in a way that your life is so much easier. So I wanted to talk about funnels start to finish and what it does for your business. So in the beginning, it's all about the problem. So somebody has a situation, a problem. It might be a small problem, might be a big problem. But the issue is it's a problem. There's something not working. And so what do? Their antenna goes up and they start looking for a solution. We all have these problems every day in life. There's just something that's not working right, so we're looking for some kind of a solution. Now, sometimes I will say that maybe we don't think we have a problem, but like the kid walking past that candy store, all of a sudden you see something that looks really enticing, really interesting. So have you ever been in that situation? And sometimes we call it the SOS syndrome. That's the shiny object syndrome. But the bottom line is typically your potential client, your lead, has some kind of a problem and they're looking for a solution. So there's so many options out there, and especially nowadays with the internet, everything's mobile. The problem for them is they just don't know where to go to find that solution. So if you're with me here, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. Let me just check the comments real quick. If you can't hear me, let me know in the comments about that also. I'm using my mic again, and sometimes the mic works and sometimes it doesn't. Okay, so this lead is looking for the solution, but let me tell you, it's not all about you, or it's not all about me. The bottom line for businesses, whether you're an entrepreneur, solopreneur, you've got a brick and mortar business, the only reason you are in business is because somebody out there has a problem. So it's not about you. It's not about what you think is the best solution. It's all about them. Now, I'm going to just mention here that a lot of us talk about, or we hear that, well, I feel that I have a calling. My calling is to help this particular type of person. Or because of my past experiences, I know that I can help that person. I'm not saying that what we have to offer, that we don't bring something unique, but we have to always keep in mind, and again, going back to the subject of funnels, is what is the problem that they're having? Because people are looking for a solution to that problem. So give me a thumbs up. If you're watching this on replay, make sure that you let me know that this is making sense. So your potential client or lead has a problem, and so you're trying to offer a solution. Well, what is your problem as the solution provider? There's so much competition out there. We're like, me, look at me. So that's what this discussion is about today. is how do you make your solution rise to the top so that those clients or leads can see what your solution is? And what is the answer to your problem is the sales funnel. So now, does that make sense? The lead has a problem. You have a solution, but your problem is getting your solution out there so that they understand what it is. And so when you hear the word sales funnel, it's all about casting this big net, capturing all of these leads, and then they go down this funnel to, you've got prospects, and then those prospects become your customers or your clients. So let's go fishing. So building this funnel really is all about fishing, finding the right fish, but how do you get those fish to bite? So that means, what bait are you going to use? So again, we're in a sea of multitude of people out there. I don't know what the number is, billions of people. So how can you stand out so that those people that would benefit from your solution, you have to do something to get their attention. And so in the funnel world, you might hear the terminology lead magnets. Now, sometimes people will refer to this as clickbait. I don't like to use that word because that makes it sound like you're trying to trick someone. It's not about tricking, but again, you have to have something that's enticing. You want something that's going to start calling these leads to you. And how do you do that? By building your freebie. Something of value that you can offer, some kind of bait, so to speak, so it gets these potential leads coming your way. Now, how do you attract all these people? You have to give them something that they really, really want, not what they need. And I've made the same mistake myself. I'm in, as a business analyst, I know that people need systems. They need to build in automation. They need to build a strong foundation for their business, but that's not what people want. People want the stuff that tastes good. So just like a kid, are they going to eat broccoli, or are they going to eat the candy or the sugar-coated cereal? So as we're building our funnel, we have to stop and think, what is it that the potential lead or client thinks that they want? Now, a lot of times they think, okay, I need this. And then as they continue to get educated and learn more, they realize that it's something else. But you need something right out of the gate, something that they think that they need right then. And again, so what are you going to do to capture their attention, to say, hello, look at me? Even in the B2B business, when we could shop at stores, people, companies use banners, they use flags, they use lights, they use whatever they can to try to get the attention from people. So as you're building your funnel, the first thing that you need to do is to craft that perfect freebie. And as you're building this freebie or thinking about the freebie, again, you have to think about, what is it that they're looking for? What do they need? How are you going to grab their attention? How is it going to solve their problem right now? So you want to give them something that will solve that problem. So as you're building the funnel, you just need to think about, again, this big picture of all of the traffic out there. And then you need to direct them to some type of a lead capture page. And then they give you something in exchange. They give you their email in exchange for the freebie that you're giving them. And then from there, you start nurturing them. You start building in that know, like, trust factor. And then it just moves down the funnel. So again, that purpose, the whole purpose of a funnel is to start attracting people into your net and giving them that know, like, and trust factor. So that might involve sending emails, might be videos, might be pointing them to your Facebook group. But you have to remember that your potential lead out there, they're lost, confused, unsure. The bottom line is they need their problem fixed. They might not even be able to identify the true problem, but they just know that they're feeling something. They're feeling overwhelmed. They're feeling anxious. They're feeling confused. Whatever it is, you have to remember they just want to eliminate that feeling. They want to be able to get to the next step. So as you're building your funnel, it's all about really a sifting process, because again, you have this huge net, but it's a sifting process on both ends. So you're looking for your ideal client. What does that mean? That means somebody that you can truly help, someone that you can get to the finish line, that you can offer that transformation, someone that you enjoy working with, versus just, it's a live body, give me your money, and here's the product. So as you're building your funnel, you want to remember that it's sifting on both ends. They're looking for a solution. You're also looking for that ideal client. Once somebody enters into that funnel, then that's truly when they become a lead. So they've raised their hand and they've shown interest. Like, yes, this sounds like this might be really interesting. This might solve my problem. And then they're kind of coming closer to the bottom of the funnel. So once you have that lead, then what are you going to do? That's when the whole nurturing process, and just like this tiny little plant, how are you going to nurture that lead? Now, I'm just going to mention here, a lot of times people will say, email is dead. I don't like getting emails, et cetera, but the numbers are still out there. People still get emails. Now, will they open every single email that you send them? Probably not. But if we go back to the beginning of the funnel, somebody has a problem, you're waving a flag saying, I have a solution to this problem. They're interested. Even if they don't act on it right away, just like that little plant that you're nurturing, you never know when it's going to come to fruition. And as long as you're continuing to stay in their world by sending emails, by offering value, by inviting them to your Facebook group, sending them videos, things like that, you're going to continue to nurture that lead. And they may decide that what you have to offer them isn't what they need. But if you are still top of mind to them, they might say, you know what? I just heard somebody talking about that. And they could offer say, you know what, I just saw this great webinar. Let me give you that person's name. So you want to, once you get them in that funnel, you want to continue to nurture and build on that relationship, because you never know where it's going to go. And then that's when you start making your offers. So as you're making the offers, there's all different philosophies and theories out there. Some marketers feel that you offer them small things and then kind of a medium priced and then your signature program. Other people teach that, nope, you just go with whatever your signature program is. That's what you offer. This isn't a little webinar about which is the best way. I think that there's places for both. But the thing that I want you to remember is if you're not making offers, what you've done is you've highlighted the solution. And if you don't make an offer, someone else will. So going back to this, if you're starting to nurture these leads, but you don't make an offer, they still have that problem. They're going to go someplace to get the solution. So that's why it's important as we're building our funnels to make sure that we're putting those offers out there. Let people know how they can work with you, how they can get the solution to the problem. So as we're building our funnels, does this look like you? So many people say, okay, I know I'm supposed to be doing this, this, and this, but I really have no idea what I'm doing. The bottom line is we all have our genius zones. We all have things that we excel at, and then there's other things that we don't. So this presentation isn't about that, you should outsource everything, but sometimes we just have to stop and take a minute and say, I'm not really skilled at this. It's not my forte, but that's okay. There's different ways to learn, different blended models and all of that. But you just need to recognize that if this is something that you struggle with, just make sure that you know that, so that you're not spending weeks and months trying to get to that solution for you. So as you're building your funnel, some of the different components or pieces that you need is you need something to build your freebie, something that's really going to be enticing to them. So I love Canva. I think most people use Canva. The free version works for most people, but you just need something in your toolbox to build that freebie. And then you need some place to direct people. So remember, people are looking for a problem, and you wave the flag and you say, I have a solution for you. So that's the freebie, but then you need to get them into your funnel. So the first thing is that landing page. A couple tools you could use. One is Kartra. That's what I use. ClickFunnels is another one that a lot of people use. MailerLite. There's all kinds of products out there, but you need something to start building so that you can start capturing these leads. And then the next thing is creating this opt-in form. So you need some place for this information, their name and their email, so that it can go someplace, so that you can capture that. Again, because you don't want to be doing everything manually. And then the next component or piece of that is a CRM, and it's just a fancy way of saying it's a customer relationship product. So if you were a 100% salesperson, you would have a very high-end CRM, and you would be inputting all the data about that lead or that contact. You met with them on such and such a date. This is what you talked about. This was the proposal. This is when you're going to get back to them. So these high-end CRMs keep you on target, so to speak, of all of your different clients. Well, if you're an entrepreneur, if you've got an online course or an online service that you offer, you don't need something as robust as that, but you need some kind of a tool that will automatically keep track of your leads and help you look at the analytics so that you can tell if they're looking at your emails, if they're responding, things like that. Another component that you need is some kind of a delivery platform. And a delivery platform is just basically, how do you give them that information? How do you deliver what you say? And then once they become a client, another component, the offboarding, basically what that means is you want clients for life, and then those people will continue to promote you. So those are just a few of the components in your funnel system. As you're building your funnel, how do you get the word out? So basically, are you taking advantage of all of the different areas that you can have funnels? And your funnel will look similar. It will be directing people to the same point, but you might be using different tools. So on social media, for instance, even your Facebook profile cover image, are you using that as a type of a funnel? Excuse me, click here to get my freebie, or click here to go to my Facebook group, things like that. So again, you're just funneling people in through this to get them to an end point. Some things just super simple, like an email signature. Do you have a signature set up on your email so that if you send an email to somebody, at the very bottom it says click here for a free assessment call, or click here to get a free training video? Word of mouth, groups, all kinds of places that you can put funnels in place to continue to direct people to the product and solution that you're offering. And then when you start building your funnel, you have a lot of decisions to make. And let me just back up here just for a minute. I'm just going to share a quick little story. The house that we're currently living in, just going to check my notes here. The house that we're currently living in, it's 100 years old. It's not a pretty house. It's just a square box. And when we purchased it, my husband is one of these handy guys, but I mean, he doesn't have a contractor's background, and he was going to do most of the work. Well, we gutted the house. I mean, initially we thought we could kind of do this. We ended up gutting the house. 4 years later, we got into the house. What happened is, number one, the project ended up being way out of our scope. My husband and I had different timelines that we were working off of. I wanted the house to live in now, and I wanted it done. He was thinking further down the road. So we ended up with a blended solution. We started hiring people for certain jobs, and we finally got to the finish line. So I'm telling that story. It was very painful in the beginning because we didn't realize what a big project this was. What were we thinking? I don't know. And so as you're building your funnel, I really think that so many gurus out there are making things way more complicated than it needs to be. So I'm just going to say that up front. And based on what you're trying to do with your business and what your solution is that you're providing other people, keep it as simple as possible. And there's different building models, basically. So you can just do everything yourself. That's what my husband and I thought we were going to do because we didn't have a ton of money to put into this house. And that's what most people do. They just figure, I'll just do it myself. I'll figure it out. On the other extreme, people say, this is not my forte. I want nothing to do with it. Tech drives me crazy. I'm just going to hire it out. Then you start getting estimates, and then all of a sudden you're realizing it could cost $4,000, $6,000, $8,000, depending on what it is that you're trying to do. And then another model is to do it together. Find someone that could either teach you or could fast track the whole process, or maybe do it, you do one piece, I do another, something like that. But again, based on what you're trying to accomplish, I really think that a lot of people out there are way overcomplicating what they're trying to do. So just keep in mind that there's many models that you can do as you're building your funnel, and pick what's going to work best for you. Because as you're planning this, you need to estimate the cost. And again, when we remodeled, I say that lightly, our house, we didn't have the right estimating factors in place. If we would have known after the fact, would we have done it? Probably not, at least not the way we did it. So as you're building your funnel, you want to estimate the cost involved. And a lot of times people think money, but usually the primary thing is the time factor. Going back to the point that we all are in our genius zones, what's easy for me is difficult for other people. So as you're looking at the big picture, you need to factor in, where do you really excel? What do you enjoy doing? And if you immerse yourself in this, is it going to get you to the finish line? So you want to just make sure that you estimate those costs the right way. So to wrap it up, again, a funnel is just a fancy way of finding those people that, one, are aware that they have a problem, and two, that you have a solution to the problem that they think that they have. They raise their hand, they show that they're interested, and then that captures them, so to speak, and they start moving down your funnel. And you start nurturing them, you start offering value, you start teaching. And then as they move down this, they're making that evaluation. They're deciding if they think that they can get transformation by working with you. And then down here, they end up buying. Excuse me. So I hope that makes sense. Just very big, very broad picture of building the perfect funnel. If you're watching this live, then you're in my Facebook group, Systems to Scale Your Business. I also recirculate all of my videos. So if you're watching this on YouTube or some other place, know that if you need help, you can join the group, Systems to Scale Your Business. You can also reach out to me for a free business assessment call. What I do on that call is basically I just look at where you're at right now. I'm that contractor inspector, and then I just help you figure out the best way of where you need to go so that you can start building your business. So I hope that makes sense. And thank you for the comments, people that have hopped on here live. I appreciate it. And again, if you have questions, put them in the comments or reach out to me, and I'll see you in the next masterclass live. All right. See you next time.